Welcome back, True to Horse Horsemanship. This is Ray Strickland from Wolf Trap Ranch. And this is a 3-year-old, another Andalusian. If y'all remember the gray that he had brought over early, who turned out real nice. Ray did a little bit with her, but not much. I keep asking him, he says very little, so that means not much. But the nice thing about Ray and Patty, he's back there taking pictures. When these, they fold this filly out, and they handle her, but they don't go overboard on it. That's one thing you got to be careful with the imprinting thing. You get carried away and you'll take their natural stuff you need to train that horse away from. You'll get a pushy, obnoxious, 1,000-pound animal by the time it grows up. So all you need to do is just handle it, squeeze around the girth area, maybe play with his ears, pick up his feet, and halter break it. That's all you need to do. And preferably turn it out with the herd. The herd can teach these horses more in their younger years than we can. So what we're going to go through today here is, it's been cold as dickers here, so I've been working her primarily in the barn, just coming out here a little bit. But this is going to be the first part of a 2-part series. I'm going to just go through what I did to get her under saddle. I'll climb on her today. And basically, we'll warm her up a little bit. Let me see her, Ray. So, me, I'm not going to take her to a round pen and let her run around before we get to work. We're going to go to work. She's a very forward-moving horse, and she is full of herself, but that's going to make her, that's what's going to end up at the end of the day, make her a talented horse. So I want her to know, along this lead line, and I am in this arena, she's got to listen to me. Now, if I walk out the gate, she's allowed to play, part, do whatever she wants to. So just like my basic stuff, I'm going to ask her to walk forward. And I take the pressure off of her, she stops. And that's what I want. I want her to focus on me. Now right there, you might not have seen me ask for a trot, but my body did. I got more erect. And I took charge. Now some people say, well, she's throwing her head. I don't care if she's throwing her head. She's just out of that stall. And the more training she gets, the less she's going to do that. So we're just going to warm her up. I might take her over some obstacles here in a second. And you notice I'm not just going over to the obstacles, I'm just sort of walking over here. Now right there, she sort of side passed the teeter-totter. I'm not going to take it personal, we're just going to go back to it. One thing about training horses, a lot of people takes what they do personal, but I don't. Especially on a green horse like this. She's not refusing per se, she's still going forward. But luckily enough, like I said, now right there I was controlling her body, not with the halter. I was doing it with my body. So now we'll just back off a little bit, let her move out some. Now I'm not doing this to wear her out. I'm doing this to get her mind focused on me. And let her know she's got to pay attention. There we go. Now I'm gonna go to neutral here, and she better come. That's one thing I am picky. I want to teach these horses, when I go to neutral, they should go in neutral. Like right there, I went in neutral, she stopped, she disengaged, she was looking at me to go. So now I should be able to just point and go. Go in neutral, she stopped. Might play with this. Right now I'm just playing around. Now, right now, you see how she's really focusing on me? She's waiting. I go pick up a little bit, she just take ease and off. She's not in a hurry. There we go. Now go in neutral, she stops. No. Neutral, she stops. Point, she walks off. Now right there, you saw me just sort of, didn't go in completely neutral, but read my body too. I just sort of exhaled right there. I started going to more of a submissive state, I guess you'd call it, or relaxed state, be more correct term. And she calmed down. Now after I get a few good rides on her, we won't be doing this. Because that's my whole thing. You know, I want to get these horses where they can sit up for a month or so. If I throw a saddle on them, I want to be able to jump on them and go. So that's the way we started to warm her up. Ray, you want to pick that big rope, long rope for me, sir? So like I said, all this is my prep work for the saddle, even though that was basic groundwork. And the horse is going to tell me how fast to go. You just lay it right there. Thank you. So right now, you know, I'm just getting a de-spooker a little bit. Or desensitizer is the correct term nowadays. Now my body position, I'm in front, but I'm a little bit to the side. Let's take, you got a horse that likes to strike out, I'll be out of the way. So like I said, we're doing prep work to get her on the saddle. I'm going to use my longer rope here in a minute, but right now I'm just going to use my short rope, throw it on over. And right now I'm just going to put some pressure on there. Just rub it a little bit, pull it forward a little bit. There we go. Squeeze over here. And you stop and think about it, actually I'm doing the prep work for her to get used to my legs. I put pressure over there, she's coming sideways. Now with her, I read her the very first day. She's light on her front end. I told Ray right off the beginning, she's not going to have much buck on it. Of course, she proved me wrong today, but... So, you know, you got to go with program with the horse. Like with some horses, you see me use my 60-foot lariat in the round pen. I'll do the same thing like I'm doing right now, but hers, she listens well to the halter. So I'm just going to pull. Like I said, most of this stuff inside the stall But I wouldn't recommend everybody do it in a stall because, you know, a horse comes unglued, you're liable to get hurt. But I can read a horse pretty decent, so I know which ones I can and can't. So basically all I'm going to do, keep doing that until she gets used to the pressure. You know, I might move her out a little bit, get her moving, and then add the pressure to her. Because that's when the horse liable react, is while their feet's moving, and then you pull. You can stand there all day and pull while they're not moving. So we're just going to keep that pressure on there. Now, right there, she's throwing her front feet up, and as soon as she quits, that's why I like my heavy snap. I can release, and I got slack in it. So, in other words, when she's doing the wrong thing, I'll keep that pressure on there, like right now. But when she stops, I just let some slack in my rope, and you can see it hanging. Now I'm getting to the ticklish area, so I'm going to go in neutral. And I want her to stop. I'm going to approach her like she hasn't, for y'all out there. So I'm just going to have her up right here next to her. I'm going to be off to the side a little bit. Now, if I put this pad up like this, and she started moving, I'm not going to get any closer, but I'm just going to walk with her. And when she stops, then my feet's going to stop, right? So if it works out right, the same distance that we started at, we would be there. And then when she gets comfortable, then I might back off and come out that same spot. And then I'll start working in closer and closer and closer. So I'm just going to rub her all over with it. Now, right now, it might look like I got her free, but Sydney get a shot of my feet. I got one rope in front of this hoof. Tells you how long I've been around horses. My foot, and I'm standing on another one. So if she goes to react, all I got to do, pick up my foot, and I got the rope. So that's a little tidbit for today. But I want her to think she's got to stand here. So basically, this is ground tying one-on-one. There we go. All right, ready to bring the saddle. Thank you, sir. So I'm going to stand in front of her shoulder, but not directly in front, to the side, but in front. Yeah, she's so hard. And I'm just going to pop them up there. I'm not going to snake it on there, is what I call it, or sneak it on there. I'm just going to get horses where they'll take it. Because if you start out sneaking some saddle on them, I've seen some horses got 90 days and people are still sneaking the saddle on them. Well, after that time, no. So I use a lightweight saddle so I can do it. I just start at the beginning, just put it, and if they move or whatever, well, we just go back and start over again. Now, a lot of times, first time you put a girth on, they do make little sticks with hooks on them. Or if you're a tightwad like me, just get you a wire coat hanger and unbend it and use that for a hook. or me, I'll use a buggy whip. I can grab it with that. Now, a lot of people right now would be jerking on her head to get her head up. I'm not going to be too concentrated on that. If she's lowering that head these first few sounds, that's fine. She's relaxed. So I'm not going to sit here and start jerking on her, get her head up, and make something that's minor into a big deal. You know, since she showed me she's doing that, I'm just going to take my line and wrap it over my arm so she can't, but don't get so anal, so, especially at this stage of the game. I mean, she's a green horse, and you know, horses do what they do. So same thing, you know, I use my lope for a lot when I'm at this point. What I mean by that is, let's say I haven't really worked her again before. My rule of thumb, if for 3 days I can ask for a lope with the saddle on it and they don't break into a crow hop or buck or react in any way, that's when I climb on them. Because that's telling me, if I wait for 3 days in a row, that's telling me they are comfortable with the saddle. So I'm just going to ask her to walk forward. Increase my body. There, see how I just brought my shoulders back? That's all it took. And right there, she saw it. I start expelling some air. I lowered my shoulders a little bit. You know, 90% of the horse's communication is visual. So if you're a nervous person, 9 times out of 10, your horse is going to be nervous. And you could try de-spooking them. Until you de-spook yourself, you're not doing any good. Hit, snake. Good girl. So I'm going to amp it up a little bit. Step in front of that shoulder. Step in front of the other shoulder. Get control of them feet. Good girl. Now right there, I didn't follow through with it, so you know she came down. So I'm going to go in neutral, then touch her, she goes in neutral. Bridle, my man. Yeah, this is a very interesting horse. I went and picked her up in my little 2-horse trailer, which is slant load, and the divider, bottom part of it's only about that tall from the ground. Me and Ray stopped to get something to eat. I looked at, check on her, and now mind you, the trailer never moved while we was pulling. Of course it came behind the truck, but it didn't move. And we get back there, and this little filly is in the back divider facing the back. Now what she had to do, she had to just about get on her knees and crawl underneath that divider to get over there, because she never went over the top, because I would have saw signs of it, because she would have broke my divider, but she never had a hair off of her. So we're just going to bend her up. And that little stuff she's doing right now, she's a green horse. We're just going to ignore it. Don't take it personal. And not back off of it. That's where so many people, these first few bridles, they go wrong. Right there, they'd back off and try it again. Back off and try it again. And before you know it, they can't get a bit in the horse's mouth at all. Because they trained the horse not to take it. So I just stay with it and just keep what I'm doing. Ignore it. Because I know the end result. Now from here, what I'll do a couple of things. I'm not going to ask her to move forward yet, but I'll just pick up and just like I was in the saddle and bend her. Now I'm going to release a couple of inches, let it droop. Now let's say she went to push her head forward. I'd pull it right back. I wouldn't let her straighten that neck out. Like right there, so I'm going to bring her back. Unless I cue her. So from here I'll grab this other side. I'm not going to bend her, but I'm going to pull her neck forward from there. Then we're going to bend her again. And I'm just using as much force as necessary. Yeah, good girl. I'm going to bend her again. Good girl. I'm going to take my off rein here, straighten her back out. Because right now I'm working. I used to do a lot of this. That's really nice. Because the more I do this from the ground, when I first get on a horse, if they react bad, if I have to grab them, do a one-ring stop or something, they're not going to overreact because I grabbed them. Because they don't know what a bit is. Same thing, what I did on the other side, and I'm going to straighten her out on this side. Hold that steady. Let her straighten herself out. I'm going to grab again. Let my rein loose. And like I said earlier, if she wants to straighten that head out like that, I'm going to pull her back. Now, let's say she starts moving like she did. All I'm going to do is just sort of follow with her, and I'm not going to release until she stops her feet. Right now, I'm just going to, there we go, good girl. And I'll even work her on the vertical a little bit at this time. I'll just grab hold of her. And I know right there, she gives, I release. First few times I do this, I do the baby give. She gives, I release. All right, there she's pushing on my left hand a little bit. She gets in the right spot. But even when I'm riding her, the more I do a lot of lateral stuff, the softer she's going to get on the vertical. So now me, like I said, when they start softening up like she is, I might hook up to my O-ring. Now right now she's got her tongue all over that bit. I'm not going to be concerned about it, because when she starts knowing what that bit is, she'll position that tongue in the right spot. So right now I got hooked up to the D-ring there, so I'm going to pull. So I'm going to walk to that hip. Because when I walk to that hip, that's going to encourage her to bend. I'm going to ask her to move again. Just like if I was riding her. And I'll demonstrate that here when I climb on the second part, when I'm on top of her. Right now, my body is my leg. So we're going to bend, walk to this hip. Have her get that hip away from me. I have to move forward again. We'll bend her and walk to that hip. I want that, like I said, that's really nice on her part. And like I said, all this mouthy stuff she's doing right now, I'm not going to pay any mind. The more I worry about that, the more it's going to fall apart. Because like I said, I get a lot of emails about that. People say, well, my horse just mouth that bit, mouth that bit. Leave the darn horse alone. The softer that horse goes and the more miles it's got, she'll quit that. And some horses, you know, they do get in that habit, but most of the time it's from somewhere down the road, somebody was too heavy-handed on them. Just like I did on the other side. Ask her to move forward. We'll bend her and walk to that hip. Move that hip. There, that's good. So that's the first part. Now from here, I'll be showing how I get her prepared for me being over top of her and the saddle work. So like I said, don't take it personal. Take one step at a time. Wait for that horse to tell you when it's ready. In the long run, you're going to be so much farther. So as I always say, be true to the horse. They'll be true to you. First and foremost, people, be true to yourself. To my kids, a special person out there, and grandkids, can't leave them out. Watch J-Lay. Kidney 8, God bless, take care.